So Donald Cerrone versus Diego Sanchez has been announced on a fight night card on the 8th of May, and I'm just gonna say it. Go get some, Donald Cerrone! I can't wait for Donald Cowboy Cerrone to finally, after all of these hard years, it feels like it's been a decade, to finally get himself a free paycheck against an easy opponent that he will dismantle and won't run the risk of being KO'd in the first round against, because you can go through every single opponent of Donald Cerrone's career and he has taken on nothing but killers. I'll go through all of them right now for you. Just as a little bit of a reminder, Rafael Dos Anjos in a grappling bout, which he won by the way, Nico Price, Anthony Pettis, Conor McGregor, Justin Gaethje, Tony Ferguson, Ali Quinta, Alexander Hernandez, Mike Perry, a little bit not so much of a savage, but still, compared to Diego Sanchez, Mike Perry's basically Kamaru Usman in the welterweight division. Leon Edwards, Yancy Medeiros, Darren Till, Robbie Lawler, Jorge Masvidal, Matt Brown, Rick Story, and these are all back then as well when they were actually still somewhat savage themselves. Now he's got Diego Sanchez in 2021, and I am so happy for a fan favourite of mine and an overall favourite fighter in general of mine. Donald Cowboy Cerrone is going to make himself a free paycheck and a guaranteed win against Diego Sanchez. And I am putting this video out there, daring the MMA gods once again to have Diego Sanchez somehow find it within him to beat Donald Cerrone. Because I'll tell you this, if Diego Sanchez pulls this one off, I don't know, I don't even know anymore. I would lose my mind if Diego Sanchez, and I'm saying this on video right now, I dare anyone to be here on the 9th of May looking back at this video. I really do dare you. I dare you to come back and look at this video, because I guarantee you Donald Cerrone will beat Diego Sanchez. It's just very, very obvious. I know that he made it to a decision against Jake Matthews, but Jake Matthews kind of just didn't want to murder him in the cage and felt a little bit bad for him. Like there was a moment in the third round of Diego Sanchez versus Jake Matthews when Diego Sanchez threw that legendary nightmare flying knee in the third round, and I think when he threw the flying knee in the third round, I manually checked my playback speed just to make sure that it was actually in real time, because Diego Sanchez is absolutely done. And what we saw in Donald Cerrone's last bout in MMA, he's not done. Took a massive onslaught from Nico Price in the first round. Suffered an eye poke in that fight as well, I believe. Took the second round. Took the third round. I don't even know if he took the second round. He might have lost the second round, but he came back, rallied in the later rounds. He still got it against a dangerous contender in Nico Price, and the UFC has done him an absolute favour against Diego Sanchez. I'm sorry, Diego Sanchez, if I'm being a little bit disrespectful here to a legend like yourself, but please, don't be too offended by this, okay? But you're not going to win. You're Diego Sanchez, and the year is 2021, and he is just not even a person, in my opinion, anymore. He's just kind of an empty shell of his coach. I don't even know, his coach's thoughts just rattle around in his brain, and he just gets pushed in a direction by his coach, wherever a coach wants him to go. Just, alright, angle Diego Sanchez accordingly, right, May the 8th, right, let's just push him there, hopefully he makes it there without being killed on the way. Like, Diego Sanchez at this point, I know this is a little bit disrespectful, but he's brain dead, and Donald Cerrone's going to beat him. He's going to finish him, and I'm so happy for Donald Cerrone. I really am happy that he's going to make a nice little paycheck, because every single fight you see Donald Cerrone get matched up against, it's like, oh my god, don't get KO'd, please, I beg of you. Please don't get KO'd. The only win that Diego Sanchez has had since Mickey Gall and Craig White, who was 5-1 Mickey Gall and 14-8 Craig White at the time as well. The only win Diego Sanchez has had since then was against Mikel Pereira, where he got fucked up so badly that eventually an illegal shot landed by Mikel Pereira and he took the way and got his win bonus. I kind of don't want to see Diego Sanchez lose again. I wish he would just retire, because as much as I'm mocking him in this video and being a little bit disrespectful, it's mainly because of how happy I am for Donald Cerrone to finally get a good fight for himself and a free paycheck and a chance to get back in there after this one with some momentum on his side, rather than coming off a loss or coming off a TKO in the first round against another monster. Now he's got to try and get it done. I just feel like right now it's a great time to rebuild Donald Cerrone's momentum, give him a nice little paycheck. But for Diego Sanchez, as much as I've disrespected him, he will die first out of any MMA fighter from CTE. And I think the UFC really needs to start You cut Yoel Romero! You cut Yoel Romero. Okay? He lost a razor-close decision to Israel Adesanya that some people thought he won. And you cut Yoel Romero. But Diego Sanchez... Diego Sanchez gets to stick around for one more time, does he? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. How does that make any sense? They just cut 11 fighters, including some really talented ones. Spike Carlisle's on a 2-fight losing streak. Fair play, but he's still a young guy that's somewhat good. But Diego Sanchez needs to stay around? The big pay-per-view draw, Diego. What are they doing to him? After all of the stuff we've seen, like, he's gonna try and stab his sisters. I know Erwin Rivera just happened, and that's now a hot topic in the MMA community about CTE and how it affects the fighters. Why would you continue to let Diego Sanchez fight? It makes zero sense. He's gonna stab his sisters. Does he have sisters? I fucking hope he doesn't, because honestly, I could see it happening. Why would they do this to Diego Sanchez? It's so unfair. Let him go. I think they should just ban him from the sport in general, because he's gonna get hurt, man. Like, this is a general reach out to help here. Like, he's not okay. You can see that very clearly by what he does. I know he's a little bit of a weird guy anyway, but surely there should be some limit on an MMA career where you just say, you know what, we don't need the court case in a couple of years when you murder someone out of nowhere. Like, how many more examples do we need to see? And this is Diego Sanchez now, at 39 years of age, still active in the sport. What happens when Diego Sanchez gets to 45 and he's retired and he starts to drink a little bit on the sofa? Then he gets to 65. What happens then? Oh, I think we really need to start taking into consideration not just how they are now, because I know that's often a big thing that people go to, like, how's their speech right now? Are we sure about the CTE? What's going to happen when they're 80 years of age? You know? He's just going to be wandering around. I feel bad, but Donald Cerrone's going to win, and I feel happy for Donald Cerrone, and Donald Cerrone's another one of these type of guys where I genuinely do worry about damage down the line, but at least he's getting a nice little paycheck, and he's not quite as bad as Diego Sanchez. He will go out there and beat Diego Sanchez very easily, and it was just like there was this pity in Jake Matthews. I wish Jake Matthews would have went out there and finished him, because it would have maybe been a big sign to Diego Sanchez that now it's time to call it quits, you've been KO'd again. But I feel like just getting to a decision for Diego Sanchez is enough for him to say, you know what, I've still got it in the tank. I'm still tough enough to go 3 rounds with a young up-and-comer. Jake Matthews was pitying him in that fight. At any moment, Matthews, I think, could have finished that fight so easily. I think he genuinely didn't want to hurt Diego Sanchez. When you go back and look at it, he's holding back on his shots. He dropped Diego Sanchez in the 3rd round, I believe, and then just didn't really follow up whatsoever and just sort of laid there and allowed the fight to get to a decision. Like, even Mikel Peña, I know he's more patient now, but he was kind of being a little bit timid and respectful of Diego Sanchez as an older guy. Like, when are we going to call it enough is enough? I know he's not getting KO'd every fight, but it's almost worse that he's not, because now he's under the impression that he can still compete. He might go out there and beat Donald Cerrone, but I don't see it happening. I worry about him. And I think now more than ever we need to start taking some action. If you're cutting Yoel Romero, how about cutting Diego Sanchez? And not just cutting Diego Sanchez, but sort of like MMA needs to step in here. Like, we can't have you. You've made a lot of money, Diego. He has made a lot of money in his career, if you don't know. Diego Sanchez gets paid a hefty sum if he does win. I believe he gets like a couple $100,000 if he wins fights, and he's kind of a 50-50 fighter right now, so that's very good for him. Donald Cerrone's going to head kick KO him. You got to be some crazy savage that's going to have pinpoint accuracy to put Donald Cerrone out there in the 1st round. Nico Price is the level of savage, but he doesn't have the pinpoint accuracy, he doesn't have the patience, nor the speed, or the overall technique to put away a guy like Donald Cerrone. We saw that at 170 in his last bout. How is this in any way going to be a matchup where, who knows? Like, this is just a matchup where the UFC has said, right, we know Sanchez is going to lose again. Let's just keep putting him out there. It kind of annoys me. I know I've kind of had a roller coaster of emotions here where I'm happy and I'm angry, and now I'm just a little bit pissed off that the UFC is doing this to him, because it just shouldn't be allowed. He's going to get hurt, man. And he's going to be hurt in 20 years. And then in 30 it's going to be worse. And then in 40 it's going to be even worse. And it's tough, man. It really is tough to see this happen. But Diego Sanchez is back in there again. I didn't even really... I was going to make a prediction video here, but I've mainly just spoken about brain damage, to be honest with you. But he just doesn't have it to beat... He's just not even... Look at him. Glover Teixeira's stayed in reasonably good shape. I know he's taken some KO losses, but Teixeira's still like in athletic shape. Diego Sanchez is a mess of himself now, a saggy mess of himself. Like, Cerrone's still in good shape, lean, shredded a little bit, got some definition to his muscles still, out there swinging, throwing good head kicks, some good flexibility is still there for Donald Cerrone. He stopped sparring, so he's a little bit better in the head as well. He doesn't take quite so much as damage in the camps as he does in the fights. But Diego Sanchez is just not there. He throws crazy shots that aren't going to land against anyone who knows anything what they're doing. He's going to get hurt, and I like Diego Sanchez. There was a time when Diego Sanchez was an absolute savage, and when you look at his record of 30-13, you've seen him lose so many times. What you don't realize is the run that he went on earlier in his career. There was a time in Diego Sanchez's career when he was 20-2, when he was 16-0. When he was 16-0. If that isn't a fall from grace and a sign that maybe you should stop, I don't know what is. And he's going to get head kick KO'd by Cerrone in the second or third round. Cerrone won't have the niceness to him that a Jake Matthews will, in my opinion, because he's going to be looking for performance bonuses. And I think at this point in his career, that's what Donald Cerrone's going for. And he's got a chance to do it here. But the card's going to be good. May 8th, fight night, I assume, because they don't do pay-per-views at the beginning of the months usually, and they've got an April 24th pay-per-view, so they wouldn't double stack, only a couple of weeks away, so I'm assuming the pay-per-view is going to be at the end of May, so I'm saying it's a fight night card. It definitely is a fight night card. In my opinion, the fight night card should be as follows: Zabit Magomedsharipov versus Yair Rodriguez in the main event. I don't mind, but let's just do that one, just to make the fight happen, because for the love of God, can we please see those guys fight again? Are you fighters or are you not? Let's be real. Anthony Smith versus Volkan Ozdemir 2 in the co-main event. And then Donald Cerrone versus Diego Sanchez in the feature fight. And you're kind of done with the card. You can put any contenders on there. A couple contender series guys on there. Some guys from Tough. I know that's going to be happening around April. So maybe we'll have a winner by then. Who knows? Couple other fights on the card: Zabit versus Yair, Anthony Smith, Volkan Ozdemir 2 in the co-main, and then Cerrone Sanchez in the feature fight. You've got a good card right there, and better than some of the ones we've had recently, so that's all the card needs. But they cut Yoel Romero. They cut Yoel Romero. You know? Whatever. Make some more money, Diego Sanchez, I guess. Make some show money. What if he wins? He might win, and I look like an idiot here, but I'm still concerned, massively concerned, and angry at the UFC's actions. Surely, you know? Surely, you can just look at someone and... As there is a person out there, before I end this video, like and subscribe, by the way. Before I end this video, there is a person out there, I guarantee you, whose job it is to watch out for CTE in the sport of MMA. In some kind of athletic commission, or under USADA even, or even under the UFC itself, there is some person's job to do the scans at the UFC PI. I'm sure there's a scanning machine for the brain to see what's going on, and they are getting test results, and they are just looking at fighters to see what's good with the CTE situation. Surely the person who does that job has an obligation to step in and even just pay Diego Sanchez some kind of retirement. I think that's where it's going to get to with the CTE situation, man. I think it's going to get to the point where you're going to have to start, you know what, we're going to have to start paying pensions for these guys. Because it's kind of necessary. It is. You get a pension for being a fucking librarian. You know what I mean? Like, they don't need it. There's nothing that they carry over, other than maybe a boring personality. But there's nothing they carry over into their life after they're done with their job. And they get a pension. Everyone else does. I think it's time to start... And this has really triggered me to think about this. It's time to start paying these guys a little bit of a pension so they don't have to keep doing this. Because I'm assuming Diego Sanchez is in a situation right now. I know he got robbed for a lot of his money by a shoddy manager at one point in the midway point of his career. Got robbed of like 100,000 or something like that. But he's still making good money. I think it's time to start considering with the CTE situation a nice little wage, a pension afterwards, so that the fighters know that when I'm done with this, I can still live a life. You know, I don't need this. I can do this. And if I don't want to or I can't anymore, I should feel a little bit more welcomed to stop. You know? Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Go get some Donald Cerrone. Goodbye. Like and subscribe. Click that button up there. I'll see you later. Poor Sanchez.